Turn your headlight on, Ken. There it is.
High beam, low beam.
That's what I like to see. There's 74 DT 250.
1970. Hi, it's Ken Kaplan from the New England Motorcycle Museum, and this is an absolute dime piece. 1970 Yamaha 250cc Enduro with 1,453 miles. I rode these all the time when I was a kid, the 175 version of this, and I would have put 6,000 miles on a year on this thing, so don't ask me how. It's 50 years old, and it has 1,400 miles on it. What an absolute time capsule. Even the badges are beautiful. The color on the tank is stunning. I forget the name of the color red. I got it written down over there. Brilliant red. It's brilliant red with the gold badges and black. Just a stunning original Survivor. Love the low front fender on it. One of the things I want to point out to you, check out the gauges on this thing. One of the coolest set of gauges I've seen on a vintage Yamaha was 1 year only with the black backgrounds, white letters with the orange needles. Very cool. We ran it earlier with the baffle out to see what it sounded like, and it had a really throaty sound. But for the video, we put the baffle back in, so the exhaust is 100% stock. This bike runs like a brand new motorcycle. Starts first kick every time, hot or cold. No miles on it. It's an absolute virgin. So without further ado, let me take it for a rip for you. Drive-by. One of the best parts of these 250s, these things are absolute chick magnets. If you're at the beach and you're a single guy, you're not going to be single for long, that's for sure. Or if you've got a girlfriend, she's going to love this thing. You can take her on rides in the woods. You can ride this thing on the beach. It's so light you can take it off-road. Or if you want to ride it into the city, go ahead. This is the right bike. 2-up riding on the 250. Plenty of power, yet light enough to take off-road. Very rarely will you find one in this kind of condition, original. They're just not around. 3 weeks till Christmas. Do yourself a favor. Buy this investment quality classic for your family. It'll be worth more next Christmas than it is this Christmas. Or do us a favor and buy it and donate it to the New England Motorcycle Museum, because I'd love to keep this thing here. We go to Mid-Ohio every year. That's the AMA Vintage Days, and it's 90% trail bikes. This thing could definitely be the Grand Marshal there. It's that nice. This or the DT360 I have. Again, this came from a private collector, a good friend of ours, Rob, out of Western Connecticut. In the hills of Western Connecticut, had a private collection there of 13 stunning original trail bikes. He needed money, so he sold us the whole batch, and it's a beauty. Absolutely love it. Again, this bike came from our good friend Rob Kronsels, a local collector. He had 13 of these vintage bikes and got in a little financial trouble, so he had to cash in his chips. We bought the whole lot of them. This has a decompression release, not to change subject here, but it's got a decompression release to kick it over. You don't really need it, but if you're a girl or a light guy, or if you're an older dude and you don't want to hurt your foot, you can pull that in. You can kick it over with your hand. Fantastic machine. Love the paint job, the chrome gas tank cap, just beautiful. It's got the Yamaha logo on there. Original grips. Again, you can tell this is a bike that hasn't been hammered on off-road. If it was ridden off-road at all, it was very easily used because the pegs are in beautiful shape. Looking at the bottom of the motor here, there's not a single dent on the pan down here. It's just in mint condition. This bash pan, if I had this when I was a kid, first of all, it would be in the junkyard because I would have put on 30,000 miles on it. But you know, 6,000 miles a year, I would have rode the wheels off this thing, and everything would be bent underneath. Obviously, this one was never ridden off-road, and if it was by a novice who didn't know how to ride because there's not a ding on the engine cases are in beautiful shape. The cylinder fins are beautiful. They have all the fins. There's no broken fins. The front fender is original and intact. It was a pretty common mod. People would put the Preston Petty fender on there. So to find one with the original stock front fender like this is almost unheard of. So we went through the whole bike. This 250 Enduro, the original factory decals. I love the racing stripe on it. Just a very sporty look. The original shifter is in mint shape. It's not bent or damaged. The peg's perfectly straight. The buddy pegs are perfect. The chain's brand new. It's got a brand new chain on there. It's got a new front tire on there. That was replaced by the previous owner, and the rear tire also. So she's ready to rumble. We went through the whole bike, through the fuel system, rebuilt the carburetor, put new fuel lines, a new petcock on there. We'll go over the work order when we bring it inside. It's got a new battery in it also. Look underneath the seat, all original. Look at the bottom of the seat on this thing. It's like shiny brand new. Usually they're all rusty. That's original paint under there. Fantastic. I'll tell you, Rob had a hell of an eye for bikes, that's for sure. He picked some of the nicest trail bikes of the 70s. Every one we bought through has been coveted by not only the people that work here, but our the people on the inner circle of the museum. They're all like, man, I want to get that. I want to get that. I'd love to buy that bike, but they all know they got a bid on it just like you. So there's no inside track. It's a fair sales process. We're going to auction it off. The proceeds go to fund the New England Motorcycle Museum. We've got 26 heaters running in there right now, 16 electric heaters. Our electric bill is probably going to be over $4,000 this month, so we got a lot of overhead on this place and a staff of 11, so we can't keep them all and we can't give them away. So this is going to go to the high bidder. I hope it stays here. If you want to leave it in the museum, you can leave it, or you can take it home tomorrow as soon as you pay for it. So come on inside. I'll go over the work order, tell you everything we did to it. Again, 2-up riding. I weigh 240 pounds with my gear. Kenny's around 220, so you got 460 pounds on this thing. And listen to the motor. Listen to the motor on this thing with 460. No problem. Second gear, quarter throttle. Plenty of power left. These two strokes, they have the equivalent horsepower and torque of a 4-stroke, twice its size. They got outlawed by the EPA, but this would be equivalent in power to a 500 4-stroke of the same era. Look at this, it crawl right up the steep 45-degree ramp like nothing. I like the painted headlight shell on this, the chrome, the deep red paint, and the chrome just works perfectly together. Nice, horn works perfectly, all the lights on it work perfectly, even the high beam works on it. The high beam light right here, the red light. Can you zoom in on that? See that? Just something about this red paint with the chrome and the silver just reeks of classic nostalgic top of the line Yamaha Enduro bikes. Yamaha has a philosophy, I forget what they call it. I was watching a video about it last night about making the bike beautiful. Unlike the other Japanese manufacturers, function does follow form a little bit with the Yamaha. You get a beautiful machine that stands the test of time. 50 years later, it's still stunning. So I've been studying the Yamaha history. Fantastic company, phenomenal technology, and I raced Yamahas for 20 years. My first real motorcycle in 1971 was a Yamaha DT80. I got it for Christmas. You probably heard the story a dozen times. I got a 1971 GT80 for Christmas when I was 6 years old, and I rode the wheels off of that bike. What a fantastic machine. So here's an opportunity to buy a 1970 250 Enduro that's in mint condition. This is called the DT1C. I believe it was the first year they called them the DT. And I've got the work order here. Bottom line on the work order was $1,616, a total of 13.9 hours labor plus parts. Again, the engine compression checked out at a perfect 150 PSI. The spark is perfect. It's got a brand new spark plug in it. Complete fuel system was serviced. We drained the old fuel, removed the loose tank debris, cleaned inside of the tank. And there's a note here. The tank had been previously lined to keep it from rusting or wearing out by POR 15 product, which is the top of the line. It's mostly intact, but a bit of the tank lining that was put on is failing. So another coat, the POR 15, would probably be in order at some point in the future. It does have a brand new fuel petcock assembly. It's got a brand new foam filter in it. It's got a new fuel line. It's got, of course, new fresh fuel. Complete carb clean and adjust. And it has a brand new foam air filter element, brand new oil. The airbox has been cleaned and serviced. The throttle housing has been cleaned. The pipe and handlebar has been cleaned, lubricated, and adjusted the cable and synced the oil pump cable. The gear case oil is brand new. The drive chain, the rear chain, is brand new. The ignition switch contacts have been cleaned. We cleaned the horn button and contact. Installed a brand new battery. Replaced the headlamp bulb and the rim. If you look at the rim on the headlamp in the front, it's beautiful chrome. It's an NOS or a OEM replacement. It may or may not be brand new. It looks brand new. Came out of our inventory. Replaced the tachometer backlight bulb, so the lights on the tack and the speedo work beautifully. Again, I said earlier in the video, the tack and speedo on this thing, in my opinion, are just stunning. Take another picture from up top going down. Look at the Yamaha logo on there, the black and orange and red on the black and white on the gauge pack with the chrome, with the burgundy. Just a stunning. I told you what I said about Yamaha. Beauty was something that the designers were really fond of and put a lot of effort to make their products not only the best mechanically, but beautiful. Look at the side cover. The chrome 250 logo with the checkered flag of the Enduro. 50 years old, yet still stunning. Brand new battery, like I said. The rear brake's been adjusted. The brake lamp switches have been adjusted, so they work perfectly. The tire pressure is set. We adjusted the clutch. The clutch is on point on this thing, doesn't slip at all. Transmission works perfectly. It's got a new mirror on it. The air screw and the idle screw were adjusted once it was warmed up. Charging system checked out perfect. All electrical functions are perfect, and we've confirmed proper operation of clutch, transmissions, and brakes. And of course, I mean, let's face it, 1,400 miles on it. The engine's basically brand new. The whole bike's basically brand new mechanically. $1,600 of service by the best in the business. Mark Olson, our lead tech, worked on this bike, and also Chris also worked on the bike a bit. So it's been worked on by the best in the business. So take a look at the tank badges. Do a close-up on the tank badges. I want to point out, these are the original 50-year-old tank badges. I've seen many of these, they like shriveled up from being in the sun. Here's a set that's been stored indoors out of harm's way and beautifully maintained. There's several coats of Carnauba wax on the paint job, so it shines like new. Yes, there's a little patina. Yes, there's a couple scratches right here. There's a little bit of patina on the tank. It's not perfect, but dude, it's original, as is the seat. Look at the seat cover. Original 50-year-old Yamaha seat cover in beautiful shape. You're just not going to find that. Side covers are nice. Engine cases are nice. Frames unabused. It's as close as you're going to get as a new out-of-the-box bike mechanically as you're going to find anywhere. So I could keep ranting and raving. You get the idea. I'll let the bike speak for itself, the way it runs and the way it looks. Junior, is there anything you'd like to add?
I believe we covered it, but shipping we can get very affordably. Contact us via eBay message for a quote, and or give us a ring on the shop line, 860-454-7024. My name's Ken Jr. I'm available 6 days a week, and on Sundays via eBay Messenger.
If there was any vintage Enduro bike I could take to Mid-Ohio next year, there's two at the top of my list. This DT250 and that DT360. Bulletproof, fast, fun, reliable, light, powerful rider. I could ride it in the motocross event. I could do the hare scramble. I could do the Enduro, and I could go and do the road run on this thing. Completely flexible bike, and the NADA values reflect how awesome these bikes are worth. I've seen these regularly bring over $5,000 restored. Here's an original unrestored model. I'm going to put the value on this somewhere around $5,000. We'll let the market determine because it's being auctioned off. So again, the proceeds are going to fund the museum. It's going to a great cause, and you're buying a fantastic bike. Just a stunning original survivor. Good luck bidding on her. God bless America.